everybody, it's Mordecai, and today's video is just going to be an update because there are a few things going on that I want to address, and there's a new installment on this channel that I want to talk about, just kind of introduce and see how it goes. So, first up, I want to address a video that I made a couple Sundays ago about the Impractical Jokers community. I did say in that video that I hated it, and I just wanted to be done with it. I don't hate it. I just wanted to make that clear. I don't hate the Impractical Jokers community. I don't hate you guys. I don't hate anything about it. I wish nothing but the best for all four of them and everything. Wish for the show to continue. I just don't keep up with it anymore, and I'm tired of pretending like I'm going to get back into it, because at this point I really don't feel like I am. And I was talking with a friend of mine because I had this kind of bit of a meltdown on Twitter. I will read about it because I feel like it's important if I can find it, because I retweet a lot of things. My Twitter is just like all over the place, I guess. But essentially, I was just talking with him because he used to be an Impractical Jokers fan as well. He kind of is still, but not as frequently in the fandom like me. And I was just telling him, like, you know, done with this, and like, I just don't really keep up with them anymore. And he's like, you know, it was a good phase. And I've been so adamant about not being in phases that, like, I forget that phases are a part of growing, and it was a nice phase. I'll agree with him on that. It's just time to move on. And burning at both ends has really put a thorn in my side, I guess. I love the idea, as I said. It's a song by one of my favorite artists, Boy in a Band, and it's a really great song. It's really creative. It's the 100 producer name rap, which he talks about 100, technically 102 producers, but, you know, rounds down, and makes a story out of it, which is really freaking cool. Like, how creative, and just, yeah, to tell a story with something that's not really much to go off of. So, I decided I was going to do the story, but put it with the Impractical Jokers, because I was like, you know, it's been a while since I wrote them. Let's write about them. And then it kind of blew into this whole thing, like, oh, when are you going to put it out? For 2 months now. And it just has drained me, and yeah. So, with that being said, I'm still looking for the thread. I think it was last week. But I've decided that Burning at Both Ends is going to be my swan song to the fandom. After it is posted, I am not going to be posting any more Impractical Jokers fics. And that's just it. That'll be my 59th one, which is weird. I don't like odd numbers that much, but whatever. For my mental health, I can't continue pretending. And I don't want to pretend for my people who come to this channel. I don't want to say fans, because I don't feel like I have any fans. But people who enjoy my work. I don't want to lie to y'all. And I want to be as open about my journey with writing as I can be on this channel. Like, no matter what happens. So, that's why I'm trying to pull up this thread as well. Because I don't want to, like, say it's all been fun and games. Because I just lost it. Not in a really bad way. It just was a thread that I posted, and it's gonna take a while. So I'm just gonna keep rambling about this, but yeah. It was a fun ride. There are a few fics that I wrote in the fandom that I regret. They were experimental, but you know, I said at the beginning of this year that I'm going to be doing more experimental fics, and whether they're sexual or not, whether they're not safe for work or not. It's, TBD, to be determined. And, that was Wednesday? No, Thursday. Shite. Like I said, I retweet a lot of shit. And post about a lot of stuff. Oh, maybe? So is that? I think this is around the time that I posted it. But yeah, I look back on the 2 years that I spent in the Impractical Joker community, and I don't regret it. Not at all. It was a nice place to be, and I'm really glad for the people who stuck by me through this whole thing. And I'll have some nice memories. It's just, I can't stay here. I have to continue on with what I'm doing now and just keep moving on. That was last Saturday. Sorry, it's really important that I get all of this out, so that's why. Was it before that? I think. And I hope this doesn't discourage people from submitting things to me, because I did have that breakdown in that video that I'm talking about. I just didn't know how to deal with it, and I probably shouldn't have made that video, looking in hindsight over it. But, yeah, as I've learned from a YouTuber of mine that I love, and I hold this quote as a mantra, it's just, sure, your feelings don't make sense, but it's not your feelings' job to make sense. You just experience them, and you have to do your best to deal with them. And in that moment, I was doing what I thought was best. Granted, it sounded like I was coming off as hostile, and again, I don't regret it, just because I had to get that out in some way. I'm getting close, I think. Yeah, okay. I'll just click on that, because it was like a 9-tweet thread, I think. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this was posted 6 days ago, so sorry. I'll be reading it. And then I'll have my final thoughts about that. And then I'll move on to what I was building up to earlier, like the new installment, I guess you could say. So, late night thoughts. There's a specific fandom that I used to enjoy writing for, and now that's been drained from me to the point I don't want to finish the last chapter of a series I did. Which, yeah, I'm not going to be posting another chapter for New Girl. It's done. I couldn't, and, yeah. I'm trying to move on, yet there's one fan of my writing who keeps demanding, not in a hostile way, but just asking when I'm next going to write for that fandom. Honestly, the fic they requested for that fandom will most likely be the last one I write. I don't even really watch the show anymore. I've unfollowed all 4 actors on here, and it's just, to have a fan that's only here for one fandom, one that I don't want to write for anymore, but I don't feel like can move on, since they seem like the only person excited for my fics. Realistically, I know this isn't true, because some of my close friends love reading my works. And I have put my foot down a few times, telling this person that I write for multiple fandoms, that it makes me uncomfortable for them to pressure me into, ooh, that was a typo, into writing for this show. Hell, I've made a few videos talking about this, and I'm not allowed to move on. Even though it's clear that I've distanced myself from the fandom that I'm talking about. I love writing for my fandoms, the ones that I don't feel obligated to stay in, even though I'm suffering creatively or coerced into staying in. I've been trying to write all day, but the fic that I promised to write for this person is blooming in the background. I don't want to write it anymore, but I don't want to go back on my word, because that will discourage others from submitting prompts for me when I want so badly to write fanfic for a living. I just don't have the energy for it, and I know I'm going to write it out of spite. I don't know if I want that to be my swan song for the Impractical Jokers community, but I'm ready to leave for good. It was a nice ride, but tethering me to this fandom against my will. It negates the progress I've made in the YouTube fandoms that I'm in, that I want to be known in the community as one of their writers. Specifically fan and Sandersides. Oh, how I love writing both. I do. I love writing for the Sandersides and for Dan and Phil. I've loved Dan and Phil for 4 years now. It'll be 5 years in May. Like, holy crap. It's been a wild ride. And during this wild ride, I wrote for Impractical Jokers as well. But I know, like, both the guys at IJ and Dan and Phil are real people. But Dan and Phil seem more authentic to me. Just because I've seen them grow as people. Like, physically, I've seen both Dan and Phil have glow-ups, like, from their, when they had the right and left fringe, and all that, to Dan having curly hair and Phil having a quiff now. And from Dan being this closeted, scared person to being out and open and embracing his truth. I've seen all of that progress. Like, yeah, I haven't been here as long as other fans, but, like, I've still been here for a significant amount of time, and it's amazing. And, like, they've helped me through so much. And that's not to say that the guys at IJ haven't. Like, they helped me through sad times. Like, they're funny and stuff, yeah, but Dan and Phil, like, I've actually seen them in person. Like, I didn't meet them, but, like, I saw them. I was really close to them. And, I still love them after that. Because, like, usually when I really, really like something or somebody, and I see them in person or something like that, like with Supernatural, and I went to a Supernatural convention, usually a few months after that, like 4 to 6, 8, around that time, months, depending, after I've seen them in person, like, my love for them dies down. And, like, that hasn't happened with Dan and Phil. I love them, regardless. And, yeah, that just speaks volumes to me. Getting a little emotional. Okay, continuing with the thread. Writers need to be respected, point blank. I'm grateful to all the people who read and have supported my fandoms, my fics. Endlessly pestering me for a fic isn't the way to go, though if you haven't commissioned me. Aside from being rude, I've got mental, physical health problems that get in the way. I'm typing on a phone because my laptop is a cheap piece of shit. I'm trying to get top surgery. That's been a whole thing right now that I'm dealing with. And I'm in my last year of college. My last year of undergrad, because, yeah, I did my degree audit a couple days ago, so I can graduate in May of 2020. I have other hobbies, like Dungeons and Dragons. I do that every Monday. Like, I get picked up at 6, and we go until 9, so that's 3 hours every night, every Monday, since, like, 2 weeks ago. And the semester's about to start up, too, so there's that. All that takes up my time. And I have animals as well, that I've said before. Like, I have 2 snakes, I have 3 cats, and I have a dog. And that dog is my service dog as well, so I have to take extra care of her. There was an issue with that happened, and yeah. I try my hardest to make room for writing whenever I can, but you can't force creativity. I had this talk with my therapist just 2 days ago, after I did my audit. I was on campus, so I thought, why not? And I told him that, and he was like, you know, forced creativity is not creativity. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. Like, I didn't think of it that way, but it's not. It's not creativity. I really want to work on Sanderside's ideas that my embodiment of creativity keeps flooding me with. So I may say fuck it and spend the day working on some, while listening to Boy in a Band, Rusty Cage, before my D&D session at 6. So yeah, this was a week ago almost. Oops. I'm not purposely ignoring the last IJ fic. like I've said, it is getting posted this month. I just want to work on it on my own terms. Too long didn't read. Unless you've paid a creator for a piece and you both decided on a time and date where you'll receive it, just be patient. There's two more, I think. No? Was that the last one? Oh no, it was 11 tweets. My bad. Because, yeah. Wait, where are the other two? Because I got really pissed. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go watch Dan and Phil. Yeah, I remember that. Shit. Anyway, I read it all. I think some pieces are missing, but whatever. Just, I know you're not obligated to tip me at all. Like, I'm not saying you have to read my fics, because you get to read them for free. I just know that some people, like, they have means of giving to lesser known, I guess, creators, people who are struggling, people who are trying to make this their living. Sometimes they have money to spare, you know. I'm not gonna, like, beg for money. Just being tipped for my writing would be really cool. It's like, even during college, I am putting time aside to write after writing for my degree, because I'm a creative writing major. So yeah. It's just, I don't know, I would feel more obligated to write for this particular person, for this fandom, if I were getting written, or if I were getting commissioned. I don't even know the story. If I were getting commissioned, which kind of sounds weird because that makes it sound like if you paid me enough, I'd stay in the fandom. No. I'm still leaving the fandom, regardless of whether I was being paid or not. I might lose this fan, which has crossed my mind a few times, but it's a chance I have to take. I would rather be happy moving on and working and potentially getting new people who like my stuff than staying trapped and not moving forward. So, there's my long spiel about that. So, on to the next bit of news. So, I don't know. It was last Thursday, I believe. Let me look at my uploaded videos. This is a lot of me looking at my phone, I apologize, but when am I not looking at my phone? Seriously. But, essentially, what I've been doing, or what I just did, because it was only one video so far, is I am uploading audio fics of my Dan and Phil, so fan, Sander Sides, and my Detroit Become Human series, and just standalone fics and stuff. I'm not doing it for Impractical Jokers, or Supernatural, or, I think there's another thing I did. Just, there are 178 right now fics on my AO3. I cannot do that for every single one of them. Sorry. But, continuing on, like, I'm gonna go down the list from most recent to when I feel like is a good cutoff, I don't know. And then the more recent fics that I'm about to post, they'll get theirs later on, probably, like, in a few months' time, I guess. Depends on how long this will take me. It took a long-ass time to record the first one that I did, and it's only 15 minutes long, so, yeah. Yeah. When was that uploaded? 2 days ago. So today is Sunday. So I did it on Friday? Let me make sure. I've just gotten 3 views. That's awesome. Hey everybody, it's Mordecai, and... Oof, that's my voice. Let's see. When did I upload this? July 25th? So that would be 3 days ago. Yeah, I uploaded on Thursday. I was right. Oh, because it was, like, uploaded at, like, 10:25 at night. They were like, oh, it's the next day. That's not how that works. But okay, yeah. On Thursdays, I'm going to be uploading my audio fics. Right now, it's Life Finds a Way, which is my fanfic. The first 2 chapters. The first one's already uploaded. The second one will be uploaded this Thursday. And depending on how that goes, It might be a running series on here on Thursdays, so I'll be posting twice a week, and depending on my schedule as well for college. Depends on how many people actually, like, interact with that video and listen to it and stuff, so. I'm gonna try it for a couple of episodes, I guess you could say, and we'll see how it goes from there. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to do for now. Next Sunday, I will be uploading the list of fics I have for August. I know it's gonna be like a few days in August, but I just don't feel like uploading that kind of video on a Thursday instead of a Sunday. Ugh. So yeah, hopefully this goes well. If not, I'll say screw it and stop doing that, and then continue just doing Sunday videos. So yeah, that's been the video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day, evening, night, wherever it is. So yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.